the people in Kanye West's life has been taking advantage of him for fame, for whatever. And right, I never seen a couple breakup that had so much media coverage, like a celebrity couple breakup that had so much media coverage and so much like memes about it.
And that's how I knew that that.
Let's get it.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. Kanye West, now known as Ye, is one of the best-selling musical artists in the world. He has also in recent years become a celebrated and very highly paid fashion designer. And of course, for a decade, he was well known to TV audiences as an in-law of the Kardashian family. But it's West's latest incarnation as a kind of Christian evangelist that brought us to his office in Los Angeles today for the interview you're about to see. Days ago, during Fashion Week in Paris, West, accompanied by his friend Candace Owens, unveiled a T-shirt that read simply, White Lives Matter.
All right. Black Lives Matter, the organization, I don't support. I do not support the organization, but the movement, I support it. The only reason I don't support the organization is because I think a couple of years back, after the George Floyd incident, the founder spent $1.1 million in donations to buy a house. And recently, they have exposed her again for spending another $1 million in donations. Right? In donations to renovate the same house that she bought. Right? I don't support the organization, but I do support the movement.
The response from the fashion industry and international media was instantaneous and uniform. Shock, horror, rage. There is no excuse for this, thundered the New York Times. West is legitimizing extremism, shrieked Rolling Stone, etc., etc. What was strikingly missing from the coverage, however, was any explanation for why West did this.
Nobody asked him why.
About? No one seemed to think to ask him, much less to listen to what he had to say. Instead, the enemies of his ideas...
Like, it's crazy. We all jumped to the conclusion that Kanye West was anti-black. In reality, he's not, right? In the most recent rant that he had, for some reason, he said some anti-Semitic things. Then he went on to explain that he's trying to uplift the black people in the country. I understand. Every black billionaire been trying to do that for a while now, and as long as we have that cycle of hate, we can't uplift ourselves if we keep oppressing our own people, right? We're not trying to learn anything, right? We're like, as black people, we're not trying to learn to get out the hood. Let's say that we're not trying to learn to get out the hood. All we know is the hood, like gang banging and shit. But if we took all that energy from gang banging and into finance, I swear to God, we'll run the world like the Jews.
Dismissed West, as they have for years, as mentally ill. Too crazy to take seriously. Look away, ignore him. He's a mental patient. There's nothing to see here. But is West crazy? You can judge for yourself as you watch what we're about to show you.
I'm sorry.
He has his own ideas.
He is crazy.
We can say that.
He is crazy.
Tend to. That's why they're artists, not actuaries. His freeform social media posts give the impression of a man channeling his rawest emotions right onto Instagram. The effect can be jarring and is often used as ammunition against him in the battle for influence over the minds of America's young people. And that battle is intense. But crazy? That was not our conclusion.
That man a little...
In fact, we've rarely heard...
In America is abortion. So I really don't care about people's response to that. I perform for an audience of one, and that's God.
Okay.
I'm starting to see why they want to make you be quiet.
Wow. He went straight for the jugular. So I don't know if the stats that he said was true, but hold on. This is the first time that I'm actually speechless trying to do something like this, because what? 50% of black babies in America, no, 50% of black deaths in America are babies from abortions. That is a wild fact. I don't know if it's true.
When did you start to feel this way? When did you start to realize this?
I really felt like, I think I started to really feel this need to express myself on another level when Trump was running for office, and I liked him.
Yes.
And every single person in Hollywood, from my ex-wife to my mother-in-law to my manager at that time to, you know, my so-called friends / handlers around me, told me, like, if I said that I like Trump, that my career would be over, that my life would be over. They said stuff like people get killed for wearing a hat like that. They threatened my life. They put my life. They basically said that I would be killed for wearing the hat. I had someone call me last night and said anybody wearing a White Lives Matter shirt is going to be greenlit, and that means that they're going to beat them up if they wear it. And I'm like, you know, okay, green light me then.
All right. So I watched playback with Agent and Low, right? And they said something, right? Right? Like it was autoplaying, but they said something in, like, with this part specifically, right? Kanye West has always been a free thinker. Like he has always been free thinking, right? I'm not going to say exactly what they said, but Kanye West has always been a free thinker. And every time they tell Kanye West no, he does it either way. Like he like, for me, I really believe that Kanye West is just doing what he want when he want, because he really believes the things that goes on in his head. Like, Kanye West is a free thinking person. Like, you can't tell the man yes or no, right? If you tell the man no, he'll do it either way. If you tell the man yes, he'll do what he wants. Kanye West has always been a free thinker, and that's one thing that I always respected Kanye for. I don't know, like I don't know, like, that influence of free thinking has always rubbed off on me. Like, he always been a black sheep in our community. Let's keep going though.
You know, God builds warriors in a different way. I don't know if it's because of me being born in Atlanta and growing up on the south side of Chicago that, you know, he made me for such a time like this. It's like with David, you know, he tended to the sheep, but while he was out there, he had to fight all kinds of animals. So,
You know, when I first seen Kanye West wear that White Lives Matter shirt, the first thing in my mind was, I cannot defend this man anymore. Like, I'll be completely honest. I was thinking, how the fuck will I be able to defend Kanye West to, like, how the fuck will I be able to defend Kanye West as a Kanye West fan? Like, I was fighting for my life for the first couple of hours when he wore that WLM shirt. But then I started thinking to myself, and I did my own research. Right? And then, right, once I did my research, I figured out he probably wasn't talking about the movement, right? I don't know what the fuck is going on in that man's head. But Kanye West probably wasn't talking about the movement. He probably was talking about the organization. But knowing Kanye, as we all do, he probably was talking about the movement, right? He probably was. I still don't know how the fuck to defend him. I still don't know how to defend Kanye West. Like, he's really on his own at this point. Like, they're trying to Andrew Tate Kanye West by the looks of it. They banned his IG, they banned his Twitter. Now he's on Facebook. Who the fuck use Facebook in our generation?
When it was time for Goliath to come, he thought because he was a sheep herder that he didn't have the skill set to take down Goliath. And the thing that I have is the position, I have my heart, but the number one thing is we have God on our side. And for the people, even if you don't believe in God, God believes in you.
So you made reference to the White Lives Matter T-shirt, which you brought out at
Fox News was happy when they seen that.
Why did you do that, and what did it mean?
You know, I do certain things from a feeling. I just channel the energy. It just feels right. It's using a gut instinct, a connection.
Kanye West is the type of person who acts and don't think. And when he faced the consequences, he don't care. Right? He just acts on his first thoughts. If we start to think about it, Kanye West just when one thing come to his mind, he acts on it. That's good for a person who's creatively who's creative, but it can only be used for when he's being creative, right? Because that WLM shirt was probably conjured up when he was in a creative brainstorm, right? Bam, bam. He made it, wore it, and he didn't think about the consequences, right? But that's an example of him just being. That's an example of him just acting on his creative instinct. But when he started talking about the Jews, that's like, you feel me? That's something that he acted on first sight. That is not a good thing. That is not a good thing. Like, talking about the Jews is some crazy shit. Like, it's really crazy. But I'm saying but too much. Like, he got a point. I'm not gonna lie. I don't say I completely disagree with the things that he said, but I kind of agree too, right? Because half the media is run by the Jewish people, right? The Jewish people have communities and stuff. They have secrets on how to make money, and like, other communities are just playing catch up right now. Like, we're playing catch up to the Jewish community. The Jewish community is up top 1%, but now it's up to the black other religions to just play catch up. The only religion that I can say that's close, or community that's close to like catching up to the Jewish community is the Islamic community. That's the only religion and community that's close to catching up to the power that they have in the world, because Saudi Arabia controls the oil. Iran controls some oil too. Like, that if you control the oil in the world, you basically have the whole world in the palm of your hand.
With God and just brilliance. You know, like, as if you asked, like, Tanya Harding how she did the triple flip or the triple spin. She was in so much practice that when it was time for her to skate in a competitive format, it just happened. Like, it happened outside of practice. It happened in the real format. And that's what's happening. Is God is, like, preparing us for the real battles. And we are in a battle with the media. Like, the majority of the media has a godless agenda, and their jokes in that work, and this whole, like, oh yeah, he's crazy and all these things, they don't work because the media has, you know, they've also watched travesties happen, just even specifically to me. And just watch it and act like it wasn't happening, and they stayed quiet about it.
What have they?
I want to answer the white.
Yeah.
I feel like someone caught what I was saying, the comparison to Tanya Hardin about the White Lives Matter. You know, my dad is an educated.
I remember something like going back to the playback video that I talked about. So I think Low, he said something like the people in Kanye West's life has been taking advantage of him for fame, for whatever. And he don't realize that. Like Candace Owen was probably taking advantage of the media coverage just to post a video the next day. So you feel me? You feel me? Like get a little clout off of it, right? That's something that was like really intriguing to me when I was watching their commentary on this video. Like that was really intriguing because I never thought about it like that. Like I never thought about people just taking advantage of Kanye West for his fame, and when he does crazy stuff like that, they just use it to just take advantage of him. I never thought about it like that.
Black Panther, and he put a text to me today. He said, "White Lives Matter, ha 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 ha," and I said, I thought the shirt was a funny shirt. I thought the idea of me wearing it was funny, and I said, "Dad, what do you think it was funny?" He said, "Just a black man stating the obvious."
Black man stating the obvious.
You know, my dad doesn't listen to rap music, and he's like super educated. We opened up a water distribution center in the Dominican Republic together. He's like the original Steve Jobs, but he was getting blocked every which way with all of his ideas, and he didn't have an endless bank account, and he didn't have an Instagram. So all these ideas, he had to like take them back and compress them. Like my dad is the most brilliant person that I know, and we actually have a strained relationship because I was taken from him because my mom was an actress, so she was a liberal, and my dad would see certain things and say, you know, we should do it this way, we should do it that way, and the people got around my mom and pulled her away, much like, you know, Kim is a Christian, but she has people who want her to go to Interview magazine and put her ass out while she's a 40-something-year-old multi-billionaire with 4 black children. And this is how fashion wants to, how they want to present her.
A little more.
So I know you give these questions, and I give you like these 3-part answers. Is this a cool format for you?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, cool.
And I am following it.
All right.
So you said that your father said when he saw the shirt "White Lives Matter," it's great to see a black man stating the obvious. So by which I think you meant that's obviously true.
Yeah, that my favorite response, because I kept on thinking, like, you know, people, they're looking for an explanation, and people say, well, as an artist, you don't have to give an explanation, but as a leader, you do.
Yes, I think that's right.
So the answer to why I wrote White Lives Matter on a shirt is because they do. It's the obvious thing.
All right, the obvious thing is that all lives matter. Yes, black lives, white lives, Indian lives, blue lives, purple lives, yellow lives, they all matter, right? That's the obvious thing. The only reason that people are outraged is because a black man who went through the same struggles was wearing it. Like, that's the only reason that there was outrage. If a white man wore it, it would have been outrage. Yes, racist, this and that. But specifically Kanye wearing a shirt like that is some wild shit. What the fuck did I just do? Let's keep going.
Yeah. Why do you think that's so? And I assume the implication is, of course, all lives matter because they're lives, because God created them.
Yeah.
Why do you think that would be considered controversial?
The movement.
Because the same people that have stripped us of our identity and labeled us as a color have told us what it means to be black and the vernacular that we're supposed to have. My dad grew up as a military brat, and
Notice that he always go back to the connection of his dad. Like he always connects every question to his dad, right? In the last 2 minutes. Right? We could like at the moment, right? We all know Kanye mom was a big influence on his life. Now that he's starting to get a connection with his dad, he has another influence, and that influence, I don't know how you perceive it. It could be good, it could be bad, but he has another influence in his life that is feeding him new ideas every day. Like he's getting fed a little more. He's getting fed more conservative ideas, even though he was a liberal at the same. Actually, he wasn't even a liberal or conservative. He was really in the middle, right? He's getting fed more conservative ideas, and he's leaning a little more to the right every day, right? Since he started to get that connection with his father.
his family moved around, but they were based mostly in Delaware. And at the time, if they weren't the only black family, they were one of the few. And he would be discriminated against because he was black. So by the time he got into college, he would be discriminated against. He went to a black college. He would be discriminated against because they said he talked too white. Yes. And then he played the kick drum in the band. So when he would go to the club and the music was playing, where would he clap his hands? Where the kick drum is. Yeah. So it's the opposite of where everyone else was clapping their hands. And this is the most elegant and tasteful person that I know. And when my mom, when the schools suggested, like the herding systems, because what they do is take the black community and they separate us, and they separate the families, and the educated, they push this, need for higher education, and us as blacks, we discriminate against each other and say, well, I got my PhD and you don't have your PhD, so I'm better than you. And so my mom, she had a PhD, and she was influenced to move to the south side of Chicago and take this job at Chicago State University. And she told my dad, if you come for us, you'll never see him again. Because, the media ridiculed me for getting the house next door to Kim to see my children. And they even said that I was stalking her and her new boyfriend because I bought the house next door to see my children.
The whole thing, bro, I've been silent for like 2 minutes because I was thinking some other shit. But the whole thing about like Kanye and Kim just arguing and doing shit for the longest had, like, in my opinion, was just stupid. Right? That whole thing was just stupid, right? The man just went to be with his kids, understandable. But at the same time, Kim was trying to get some privacy. Now, we don't know what happened in their relationship, but from the way that she was moving, she was really trying to avoid that, man. So that whole thing was just stupid, and the media coverage that it had was even crazier, right? I never seen a couple breakup that had so much media coverage, like a celebrity couple breakup that had so much media coverage and so much like memes about it.
And that's how I knew that my mom had said that to him. I said, Dad, they moved us to one of the most agreed upon to be one of the most dangerous places in the world. It's almost like they tried to kill me or something. I said, Dad, why'd you never come to get us? And that's when he told me that she was told that. There's so many things that are put in Kim's head. They bring influencers. Like, no one ever knew where Corey Gamble came from. Ooh. No one in the fashion world knows where Gabby came from.
Ooh.
These people were practically made in a laboratory, in my opinion. And one of the things that they're really good at doing is being nice and being likable. And what they do is, for people that have some form of influence, whether it's an educated Black woman like my mother that became the head of the English department at Chicago State University, or whether it's the most influential white woman on the planet, being my ex-wife, they have people that are around them at all times telling them what to be afraid of. It's like not what to do or say specifically, it's what to be afraid of. And if you have a person that isn't afraid of them, you know, like a Russell Brand or Candace Owens, or it's not that we have to agree with this.
That is, wow, okay.
But
They're not afraid.
They're not afraid to state.
They're not afraid to state their mind.
No one is God, and everyone has an opinion.
Yes, that is crazy.
So a conversation like this is a window.
All right, Fox News. I know I'm gonna get copyrighted, but it don't matter.